great about a challenge or a new project? New opportunities to grow, new moments where you have to choose. Will I think right in this? Will I speak right instead of complaining? How should I respond right now, no matter how frustrated I am? My hand is raised. I'll tell you right now, I didn't always choose to think right, to speak right, and to respond right through this past year's Reno project. I cried as I push mowed 1 whole acre because buying 2x4s and drywalls was more important at the time than buying a riding lawnmower. The only service I thought that actually showed up for us faithfully was the porta potty cleaner that came every month while we waited for the plumber to be available. Finally, after waiting 5 months for the new septic tank and bed to be installed, I cried big, ugly, body-shaking tears as I spread grass seed that wasn't actually going to grow until the spring because it was already cold and windy October. Mama, how do you actually succeed in a challenge? If or when 2023 throws you a curveball that knocks the wind out of you, halts you in your tracks, how do you still choose to think right, to speak right, and to respond right? I'll tell you how. Hey mama, do you catch yourself thinking and speaking a whole lot of negativity and complaining? Do you try to keep your patience, but you find yourself frustrated and shouting instead? Do you feel tired and pulled in all directions, like it's too much? Mama, you juggle all the things, the kids, their schoolwork, their activities, the dishes, the laundry, your own work or business, what's for dinner again, and your marriage. Whew. Even in the middle of it all, you can stay renewed. You can think right, speak right, and respond right. I'm Kimberly Mutar, and I help mamas like you stay renewed. No matter how many times you hear, "Mommy, Mommy," how many toy fights you break up, or how many times you need to rewarm your coffee, you can think right, speak right, and respond right. Your words are 2 things, blessings or curses. Are you thinking and speaking blessings and words of life over all that you juggle each day? Or are you thinking and speaking negativity, complaining, and word curses? You can keep watch over your thoughts and your words so that you stay renewed and live from a place of abundance. If you need another mama who's juggling it all too, to help you stay renewed in your thoughts, the words you say, and your parenting approach, this is the podcast for you. Let's go. November 9th was my last episode. It's been a while, and it means a lot to me that you are still here and pushed play when you saw this episode drop. I know Christmas and New Year's probably seems like a long time ago. Even still, I hope that your Christmas and New Year's was everything that you needed it to be. We dashed home to Pennsylvania before the big winter storm and had an amazing, restful visit over Christmas. Great conversations were my highlight. I just love chatting with my parents, and we had lots of playtime with hockey in the basement and soccer and football outside. We drove on to Georgia to enjoy time with cousins for New Year's. They took us fishing. We loved the boat ride and got to see dolphins. We explored a state park. Seeing palm trees and catching crabs in January is so unlike our hikes in Ontario. Then back to Ohio to visit more family and back home. Family is special. The conversations, listening, laughing, catching up, resting, it's so meaningful. I think in the whole 2 weeks, I hopped on social 3 times. I missed everyone's Christmas and New Year's posts. their year highlight reels. But taking a break from social was a gift I gave to me, and I'm glad that I did. Speaking of highlight reels, though, one of my favorite questions when it comes to the year end, I asked it of all the family we visited, what were the best parts of 2022? And I ask you the same thing. What were your best parts of 2022? Did you take time to recall all of those moments? While remembering the best times, I want you to know it's also okay to revisit the worst times too, because you came through them, didn't you? My daughter put together a video of our 2022 pictures and video clips. It took her a long time to edit, but it was so fun to watch our family highlight reel. Some of our highlights were meeting so many amazing homeschool moms and dads at 4 Ontario homeschool education conferences where I spoke and was a vendor. I did 3 other vendor shows in the year for Speak Life Badges and Austin's Kids Club. Do you want your words of encouragement and praise to have a lasting impact on your children? Then give them Speak Life Badges Sticker Awards. Here's what Erica had to say about Speak Life Badges. Today I challenged Clayton to take a baby step in bravery at the splash pad. I know these little word seeds of encouragement will grow and help him when he needs bravery in the future. At bedtime, I removed the sticker and placed it beside the mirror. Just glancing at it really encouraged my heart too. Words seem so small, but are so powerful and can completely change the way we view ourselves. Shop Speak Life Badges today at speaklifebadges.com. I also got to meet in person some of the children in Austin's Kids Club. I know their names. I pray for them as I send their mail each month, but it is so special to meet them in person. Austin the Hedgehog is bringing mailbox fun to your kids. Your children ages 3 to 13 can receive mailbox surprises like activity postcards, happy birthday cards, stickers, crafts, recipe cards, coloring pages, puzzles, special gifts like the I Am Loved journal, a tumbler, Austin's matching happy birthday toque, and so much more from Austin the Hedgehog, straight to your mailbox with their own name on it each month, all teaching life lessons such as helping, using time wisely, how to monitor their own screen time, how to choose the right friends. Being strong means more than just muscles. How to have self-control, and their words are like seeds that will grow into fruit in their life. It is oh so good from Austin the Hedgehog. 2 subscription levels are available. Register your children today at austinskidsclub.com. We bought a home on 1 acre in May and began renovating that top to bottom, inside and out. What a project that has been. It is surrounded by fields, so we loved watching the fields being planted. There was the hope of spring and new beginnings, a new project, new challenges. And then we watched those same fields being harvested because our work still wasn't done. That was a tough acknowledgement because we had really hoped to be in there, out of there, and be able to resell the house in 3 to 4 months. But we faced delays with the building permit that took 15 weeks. I mean, what's up with that, township? And then delays with the trades. All of the plumbing and the electrical work needed to be redone. And we are so grateful for our plumber, Jim, and the electrician, Ryan, working extra time for us. We had 2 amazing friends, Lawrence and Joseph, helping us out. I'm sure those guys are not listening to the Renewed Mama podcast, but I still want to give a thank you shout out to all of them because when you need friends and experts who know stuff that you don't know, you are grateful beyond words, aren't you? You know what's great about a challenge and a new project? new opportunities to grow, new moments where you have to choose. Will I think right in this? Will I speak right instead of complaining? How should I respond right no matter how frustrated I am? My hand is raised. I'll tell you right now, I didn't always choose to think right, to speak right, or to respond right through this Reno project. You heard some of those moments in the intro of this episode. It was tough keeping up 2 houses, tutoring, running Speak Life Badges and Austin's Kids Club, keeping podcast episodes going as best as I could. But now you know why there were silent streaks with no new episodes. Some things just had to be paused. Besides less podcast episodes, one of them was our homeschool. We stopped school in May and made school all about fixing a house. That's life school, isn't it? The kids dug out window wells, pulled out old bushes, demoed walls and trim. We worked at rebuilding a super cool tree fort, camped out back, built fires, cleaned the above ground pool. Well, once that was open and the summer weather was amazing, you know where the kids stayed. When we learned that we needed a whole new septic tank and bed, when I had to call month after month to renew our porta potty because the new septic system and plumbing wasn't ready yet, when we drive all the way to the house after working all day only to realize we left the tool we needed at the other house. Those are the moments when you get to decide if you will think right, speak right, and respond right. Will you complain and focus on how it's going all wrong and there are so many delays and it all feels out of your control? Because that's exactly how it feels. You've felt all of this before in circumstances in your own life. I'm sure you have. Or will you step back and say, okay, wow, this is not how I wanted it to go. But there has to be a solution here. How can we communicate better with the township for them to actually acknowledge and deal with our permit request? What else can we do while we wait for the plumber and the electrician? How can we be more organized with our tools? How can we be on the same page with what projects we want to accomplish today? And how can we have fun in the midst of it all? If your default is to complain and be negative, like it can be for me, it's not easy to ask these questions. It's not easy to reshift your focus and to see the bigger picture that it will get done in time. But you have to. You will be able to flush a toilet in the house again. You will have kitchen sink water going down a pipe instead of into a bucket that you can't let overflow under the sink. After those first few times push mowing the 1-acre property, trying to see through my tears, I had to stop and choose. Sometimes force myself to speak life and promises over the home and property instead of complaining. You know, complaining just sucked out all my energy anyway. I got tired so quickly, but when I spoke life and promises and praised, when I sang worship songs real loud as I pushed that mower, I could keep going. It's up to you to stay where you are in the complaining, the negativity, and the judgment of yourself and others. But I know that's not what you want, because you wouldn't be listening to this podcast where we together are committed to being renewed mamas who intentionally think right, speak right, and respond right, no matter the moment we find ourselves in. And when we mess up and give in to the moment, because we get overwhelmed, we get thrown off course, we choose to make it right, and we get back up and we recommit to getting it right the next time. You know, we are still working on this house. We're not done yet. Time after time, as I drove up to the house to work on it, I'd say, can we live here? Why don't we live here? I'll take this house, God. I tell you, it's only 1 acre. We'd like a lot more land than 1 acre. But the fields, the trees that line our property, the view, the quiet, the ability to have a few chickens, a big garden, the pool, the treehouse fort, well, we couldn't resist it. So we said, let's sell our other house and move here and finish the house while we are in it. And that's where we are at now. Our other house is for sale. God has our buyer. We can't wait to meet them because we love that house so much. We can't wait for someone else to love it too and make amazing memories in it just as we have. And each morning I wake up and say, thank you, God, for these views and this house. And when I flush the toilet, I thank God for the septic tank, the septic bed that works. I thank God for the dishwasher. Oh, this is another funny story. After washing dishes by hand for several weeks, we finally installed the dishwasher that had sat in its box for like 4 months. But we couldn't get it to drain because we didn't know about this little cap that was on the pipe where the dishwasher hose attaches. Thanks to my brother-in-law who knows stuff, he said, "Did you take that little cap off?" Well, we had that dishwasher humming in no time. There are so many stories like this. I have to share them all with you another time. Perhaps when we are actually done and we can sit back and enjoy the full fruit of our work. That would be wonderful. I know by me sharing our story that some of you are breathing great sighs of relief right now because you are reminded that you are not the only one living in the crazy or the renos or in the overwhelm or in the financial pressure too. You are not actually as alone as you feel you are. I want to bring you hope and this reminder for 2023. Can you see the finished project? Can you envision it done? Whatever you are pursuing, whatever you're working on, even in the work, even in the waiting, can you see the finished project? Can you envision it done? Are you even trying to see it finished, or can all you see is the mess? Whatever mess you find yourself in right now. In the financial struggle, do you see provision, it all paid for, or do you see lack, not enough? What new eyes do you need that is above and beyond your current reality? What new thoughts do you need to think instead? What new words of hope and promise do you need to speak out loud over your situation? Mama, we need to speak more than we think. We need to speak more truth, more hope, God's promises, more words of life over our situations instead of listening to ourselves think. Because if we aren't intentionally checking in with our thoughts or monitoring what they actually are, they can run wild. They can turn to negative, complaining, judgmental, and hopeless real fast. We have to speak truth, speak life to help our thoughts and our beliefs line up with it. It's okay to have to convince ourselves. We make these declarations to convince ourselves that something better is on the horizon. This project will succeed. There is a solution for this challenge. Your little ones will sleep through the night. They will potty train. They will learn to share. All of these tasks on your to-do list will get done. We speak life, truth, and promises over our circumstances even when we don't see it yet. As Steve Backlund from Igniting Hope Ministry says, we won't have something just by saying something, but saying something is necessary to having something. I just love that. I'll say it again because it's so good. We won't have something just by saying something, but saying something is necessary to having something. So what new eyes do you need for 2023 that is above and beyond your current reality? What new thoughts do you need to think instead? What new words of hope and promise do you need to speak out loud over your situation? Will you choose to stop and intentionally think right, speak right, and respond right, no matter the moment that you find yourself in? This is how you succeed in a challenge. It's up to you. You are in control of what you think, what you say, and how you respond. How about you say these declarations with me? What's happening in me is more important than what's happening to me. This is Steve Backlund again from Igniting Hope Ministries. What's happening in me is more important than what's happening to me. I will thrive no matter what happens or what challenges I face because I choose to think right, to speak right, and to respond right. Let me say that again. I will thrive no matter what happens or what challenges I face because I choose to think right, to speak right, and to respond right. Mama, have you added the Renewed Mama podcast to your favorites for a deeper, practical, we're in this together connection? Follow or subscribe so that you won't miss an upcoming episode. If any of this content on the Renewed Mama podcast has blessed you or helped you in any way, would you take a moment right now to leave a review? This is the only way I know whether or not this content is helping you to think right, to speak right, and to respond right. Leaving a review also helps more mamas like you find the podcast and learn that they can keep watch over their thoughts and their words so that they stay renewed and live from a place of abundance. I thank you in advance for leaving a review. I can't wait to hear yours. Would you right now DM 3 mamas you know who are facing a challenge, financial pressure, or what seems like a hopeless situation? Send them this episode so that they can be encouraged too. They will thank you for it. I'll see you next time. Bye. Don't miss out on the upcoming Canadian Online Homeschool Conference happening February 6th through 10th. Whether you are new to homeschooling or have a few years under your belt, the Canadian Online Homeschool Conference is a wonderful resource. I look forward to it each year. It is an online conference. You can take in the sessions while in your PJs. There are 33 speakers, including 12 sessions for kids and teens. I'll be a speaker during the elementary focused day, day 3, with a session called Goodbye Boring, Hello Homeschool Fun and Eager Learners. If you are finding your homeschool days boring, if it feels like the same thing each day, you want eager learners, but you're actually just nagging them to get their schoolwork done. In my session, you'll get activity and game ideas that will make reading and math fun and new each homeschool day for all of your learners, especially when they don't want to do workbooks or have no desire to read or write stories. A new idea for each day for a whole month, all with little prep time needed. Find the link in the show notes.